today. From Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Mitchell Trubisky and the Indianapolis Colts taking on Drew Lock and the Tennessee Titans.
Well, the weather outside couldn't be better. They've opened the roof and the retractable windows on the sides, and it's time for football at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the number 2 overall pick in 2016 from North Carolina, Mitchell Trubisky.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 7 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown.
And only 7 carries in last week's game, and I just don't know how any runner can really get loose and feel like they're into the game with that few carries. You've got to get that number up to around 15.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. On the return, Jackson. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
The Titans take over 10-10 at their own 40-yard line.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll begin by running the option. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Derrick Henry on the carry.
The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and most, he finished each and every run.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd.
He may try and run. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Locke. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. They'll run on 1st down. Henry. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he will have a Titans 1st down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. A give to Henry. And some space here. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll try to run for it with Henry. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Touchdown, Derrick Henry. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Titans have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Tucker McCann to kick off for Tennessee.
McCann's got it teed up. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 34-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Trubisky. They'll roll him out. Now Trubisky lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they're going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans.
For the extra point.
And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It's their 3rd drive now, and so far we've seen a punt. In that 2nd drive, CD, they turned the ball over, so not the start that they were envisioning.
Yeah, they've been ineffective so far, but look, they've worked on a game plan all week long. Don't get away from it too soon. Find a way to get some significant gains, loosen up, get going, and then they should be okay the rest of the way.
They run the option on second down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
They'll run it. It's Mack. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line.
Number 25.
Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And he comes back with one complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That's the end of the first quarter.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
Colts, nothing.
Now it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
15-yard line.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 20-yard line.
On 2nd down now. It's Henry doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And it brings up 3rd down.
Shotgun snap to Lock. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at their 38. They begin the drive with Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Throwing here, Trubisky. Flushed out right. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he's going to go down again. Credit the sack there to Harold Landry. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So here are the Titans to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. On 2nd down, Swift. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Show that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
On 1st down, Henry. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage. We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down is Locke. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Another try after the 1st down sack. Locke. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield.
I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
Throwing his Locke on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
A 55-yard attempt.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt.
Titans 17, Colts nothing.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And he's got his man, Hilton. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this is Hilton on the receiving end, and he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Again, it's Trubisky. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Duke Johnson, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover it, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Titans take over first.
A.J. Brown and the Titans getting the ball back here. Second quarter here, he has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there was going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a cycle up. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Trubisky under pressure again, and down he goes again. Harold Landry picks up his second sack of the afternoon. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And he goes out right around the 39. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up first and 10 at the 39-yard line. Sliding out of the pocket. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 23 yards, the final tally. Locke working out of the gun. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They work again from the 38 on second and 10.
It's second down and 10.
Throwing again. Locke. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Titans. A.J. Brown with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
McCann's got it teed up. And they will not not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Mitchell Trubisky on his way out, the subject of our players' spotlight. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot. People say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
To throw again on second down. Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football.
Drew Lock, sack. A fumble on the play.
Now the Titans will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one. The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's third and long. This time they stay on the ground, and he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough, and the punt team's going to be summoned on fourth down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
How about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
On second and 9, Lock. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he will bring it back and interception return for a Colts. Sanders on for the extra point. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. 16 yards, a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
DeAndre Swift.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Quick slant to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 50 yards.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Out of the gun, McDonald. Flush to his right. And the Titans are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Now this time he'll look to throw. The end zone, touchdown, Tennessee. K.J. Hamler, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On 3rd down, Trubisky looking deep downfield. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Touchdown,
4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. A.J. Brown and the Titans getting the ball back here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Oh, Watt shaken up. J.J. still down here following that last play. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. We'll check on his status when we get back. He'll decide to keep this once more. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and inches.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. From the gun, it's McDonald. Over the middle to Smith. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
It's no accident they've been moving the ball well all game long. This offensive line has done an excellent job adapting to everything the defense is throwing at them and creating holes for their runners.
Now at 1st down, Henry with a little bit of running room. Nice gain. He'll get about 6 yards there. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the 4th quarter. Again, it's Henry. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Derrick Henry, the ball carrier.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They'll run forward with Henry. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. Derrick Henry denied here on 4th down. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
But some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't Trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
6-yard line.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. Rolling to his right. Now he'll pull it down. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Ray Baker there defensively.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. 55, 55.
Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. He's going to take off with it. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The Colts on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Mack. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
Running the sweep, Hilton with it. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Colts on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. Now a run with Mack. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This a 33-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. 31. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Derrick Henry and the rest of the Titans offense about ready to roll again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach and probably his agent, too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
A first down run not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Ball carrier.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McDonald, short throw to Smith.
McDonald's pass.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 3rd and 2, McDonald escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. It's Brown. 17 yards on that play for the Titans. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape, and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
He was brought down at the 26. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. And they'll try to run the option here. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On 3rd, here's an option play right. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Here's Swift. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here's Henry. Yeah, this is going to depend on his spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on, and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
On 4th and goal, here's the option. And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Colts defense comes up with a goal line stand. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. DeAndre DeAndre Baker, the first corner chosen in this year's draft, there to make the play defensively. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win. And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
Rigoberto Sanchez to kick off for Indianapolis.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. They, of course, tie game, would like to avoid overtime if they could.
And a lot of people would go ahead and play it safe here and get to overtime and try and win it there. But, you know, sitting up here in the booth,
take some gambles.
I say let's go for this thing, try and push it, and maybe catch the defense back on their heel.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And the return will stop right around the 25. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. And his kick here is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final year. Why would he start down?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year. But he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
Yeah, that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Smith catches left side. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Roughing the passer defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Back to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Final score, Colts.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Colts, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they suffered just their second loss as they drop to 8-2 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.